Welcome back YouTube, KRoad17 here with a brand new F1 2019 career mode video. We are at my home Grand Prix of the United States tonight, and you guys can see I'm just checking over. We have a couple upgrades that went on. We are currently sitting fourth worst car on the grid, but however, you guys can see we are progressing this car. We're going to jump on board with qualifying.
It's time for today's qualifying session to begin here in the United States. Welcome to the Circuit of the Americas. I want to talk briefly about the strategy in these qualifying sessions. Anthony Davidson, how can a driver adjust their approach to gain those critical extra tenths of a second?
Well, qualifying isn't about adjusting your approach necessarily. It's more about trying to repeat a low fuel run that you've practiced prior to this session. You're looking for perfection on the lap, and that's hard to achieve if you're trying something new. There are some variables that can stand in your way, however. Track position or unexpected yellow flags, for example. Coupled with ever-changing track conditions, it's important to be out there at the right moment. But as a driver, you have to try and ignore these distractions and just keep your mind focused on that one perfect lap.
So I got really tired of having terrible qualifying outings, I guess you'd say, in the last couple of races. If you guys have been watching, if you haven't, please do. I appreciate it. But here we go, Q1, we crossed the line, and it's a bit of a surprise that we finished first in Q1. I was actually a bit taken back by that. I was wondering what's going on. So as you guys can see, our teammate gets a solid 11, so we're maybe looking for a good solid Q2. I get a little bit risky and I jump on with the mediums, thinking, okay, if I'm that quick in Q1, I can get through in Q2. Cross the line, currently second with 10 minutes to go, and I jump back into the pits and I fast forward stupidly through, and I end up P11. We do not make it to Q1 or Q3. So that being said, on to the race.
What fantastic enthusiasm we have for Formula One here in the United States of America. And it's an enthusiasm born from generations of memorable Grand Prix racing. Bruce McLaren took his maiden victory at Sebring way back in 1959, and John Watson's 1983 victory at Long Beach, well, that still holds the record for the lowest ever starting position for a race winner. We have 10 turns to the left and 10 to the right here at the fantastic Circuit of the Americas. Overtaking opportunities into turn 1 and 12 at this anti-clockwise 3.6 mile track. And we should see average lap speeds of around 126 miles per hour. And with me as usual is Anthony Davidson. Now let's kick off our conversation with Alexander Albon. There's a new gearbox in the back of that car, which means a grid penalty, and hopefully some excitement as they make their way through the field.
Well, at the end of the day, it's always better to take some pain now than parking it up halfway through the Grand Prix. Let's just hope they can put that new gearbox to good use and get the results they're looking for.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Bottas, Pierre Gasly and Grosjean, Rose, Perez, Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo, Norris, Weber, Lance Stroll and Magnussen, Butler, Russell, Kimi Räikkönen and Carlos Sainz. Hülkenberg, they've taken a grid penalty, and Alexander Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, I know it's your home Grand Prix, but treat it like any other race. Don't take unnecessary risks.
We will try not to, Jeff. So I actually did play with the strategy, I believe. I don't think I showed it, but however, we're going to jump right on and wait for those red lights to go out at my home Grand Prix in the United States. We do have a Haas right next to us, Grosjean, as we tangled with him before in the season. Gasly in front of us. We get an average start. Everybody takes away. We're going to get swarmed here by Perez, and I believe somebody else comes up on the inside. It is Verstappen, looking quite racy. So we're going to get a little bit of a better exit than those guys, so we get through. Grosjean and Gasly really going toe-to-toe to see who can get into this fast S section before each other. And if you guys saw that, right away in this Grand Prix we have a DRS malfunction. I can't believe it. However, we're lucky because you can't use DRS yet until lap 3.
There is a fault to the DRS. You won't be able to open the rear wing. We're working on a
So I'm going to stay out. Hopefully they make it fixed by lap 3 when it becomes available. But nevertheless, we're going to try to pass Gasly here. Let's see what the Alfa Romeo engine has to say against the Honda-powered Red Bull car. Looks like we might have the right angle to get on here. We're going to have to brake very hard. We go a little bit into the side pod of Grosjean. Not the cleanest overtake, but we do have Gasly right there. Still next to us. Grosjean goes a little slow. Gasly had a look, putting us a bit wide here, but Gasly very, very, very punchy. We're going to allow him to have that spot back.
That start was okay. Now stay alert for threats around you.
Spot's okay. Thanks, Jeff. We are exactly where we were when we started this race. We actually lucked out and started P7 instead of P11. So, I mean, free choice of tires. We're right up there with these guys. We're on a fresh set of softs. This is our home Grand Prix, so don't mind. I'm going to push like crazy at this race. It might get a bit argy-bargy here. It might be playing a little bit of dodgems, but I'm going to push as hard as I can. We have Gasly ahead of us going a little bit slow. Do I dare make a look for the inside? No, I back out. Grosjean still right ahead of him. It looks like Grosjean's starting to hold Gasly up a bit as the front runners are starting to scoot away. We do set a green sector 1, so I know these tires are on, ready to go. But we get really slow out of that exit. You see that Gasly has gotten around Grosjean, so now we're right behind Grosjean. DRS has been fixed. We're going to open it. I wasn't aware that it was fixed already, but we're going to go for the outside look on Grosjean. Maybe go side by side in this.
Great maneuver. You made it look easy.
I didn't even get around him yet, Jeff. Grosjean squeezes us out wide, so we're going to have to follow him through and pick our moment. But Grosjean is our next target. He is looking like he's, definitely does not want us to get around him. But I mean, sorry, you might be in an American car, but I'm an actual American as we touched side pods with each other. It looks like we might have gotten through, like I said, a bit argy-bargy, but nothing was broken, his car, my car. We do pull up behind Gasly, lap 7 of this Grand Prix. Can we make a move on Gasly with DRS? We chuck in an overtake, and Rich want to make sure we get next to him as quick as possible, gather that slipstream, go for the inside. It looks like he's going to give us a bit of a squeeze again, but nevertheless,
Nice move. Good job.
we're going to slow it down, make sure you don't run into the back of Leclerc's gearbox. He is right behind Bottas. How many times have I run into a situation where it's been myself, Leclerc, and Bottas in a three-way battle, and it might happen again. Lap 8 of this Grand Prix. We're actually going to follow Leclerc into the pits. Careful to take that left-hander very easily, then punch it for a little bit of a short break. Did get that pit entry, not too bad this time, so I actually followed Leclerc's line. As soon as he broke, I knew when to brake. It looks like Hamilton has made a pit stop, so he's going to get around us. Leclerc on his way out. Pit crew have made a good stop. We are on our way out right behind Leclerc. Can we follow him? There's a set of random tires there in the pits. I have no idea what that's about. Thanks, Codemasters, but we're going to make our way out right ahead of Toro Rosso. I believe that is Devin Butler we get out ahead of. At least I thought it was. It was actually Alexander Albon that we got ahead of. But, I mean, I was hoping it was Butler, but here we are. Hulkenberg, Russell, Leclerc, all these guys packed together in a battle because some of these guys have yet to make a pit stop, yet we have. We're on the set of mediums. I believe I switched it from soft to medium, and I went from soft, medium to soft. There we go, 3 wide with these guys. Next to us is Hulkenberg. He's going to give us a bit of a look. Staying side by side, I want to be careful I don't run into him, but I want to give him room. On the inside, it looks like we have the grip to get around him, and we're going to follow Sands next. Leclerc is being held up by our teammate, actually. Raikkonen doing us a favor and holding these guys up.
Increase ERS deployment. It's time to use some of this charge.
Don't talk to me right now, Jeff. I'm focusing on the race. I have a set of fresh mediums. I'm right behind Carlos Sands. I believe that he is actually going to juke to the left to make it like a fake out to pit. But I didn't take it, so we're going to follow him.
Kimmy is in the pits. Kimmy in the pits.
Teammate is in the pits. We're going to go on the inside of Carlos Sands and get it done. There's Gasly. It looks like we might have gotten out ahead of Gasly, but we're going to pull side by side with him. He's on a set of softs, so this is playing into my favor. we're going to have that quick tire at the end. Gasly and myself getting very punchy through that last corner, but still following Leclerc. Can we catch up to him? And actually, I will say it took me forever to catch up to these guys. I actually lost a lot of time being on these mediums because they were on the soft, so I just pulled it into the pits. Lap 19 of 28 of my home Grand Prix. Now it is our time to shine. We're going to slap on the set of softs and just go for it. As soon as we pull into the pit stop, hoping our pit crew gets a good, decent pit stop, we pull in. They're going to slap the set of softs on, and we're on our way out. Hopefully minimizing as much time as possible, as we're going to get overtaken by a couple of guys that are only on a one stop. On our way out of the pits, here we go. There goes a Mercedes cross. We're going to get very close to Reliant there. That was a little too close. I thought I was going to chip a wing. Luckily, nothing happened, so we're on our way out of the pits, and now we have Bottas ahead of us. Lap 20 of 28. We only have 8 laps to go. I'm pushing like crazy to get that P4. I don't want him to have it because, you know, it is my home Grand Prix. I'm trying to get as, you know, the best result I can. DRS is open. We set the purple sector 3 of the race so far. This is our out lap, I guess you would say, from pitting, our first lap out, and we get an easy done, easy do deal out of that one. So we get around Bottas. Now next is Leclerc ahead of us. Mind you guys, these guys are on mediums. I changed my strategy so I could be on an opposite strategy as these guys. I could have the quick tire at the end. I actually did set the quickest lap, the last lap. Took me a lap to catch up to Leclerc, but here we are, DRS right behind him. We're going to pull for the inside and move right past him, kind of a coast right past him. The Ferrari doesn't seem to have a lot of horsepower on the straights like the Alfa Romeo. I mean, granted, we were in overtake and we were in rich and we did have DRS, so, and we're on a lot, you know, faster set of tires, but on a straight, tires really don't mean anything. But Vettel, his teammate, is right ahead of us. Here we go. We're gonna have to push to see if we can get Vettel. Can we get Vettel and possibly get a P2 out of this race? It's gonna be a push. We have about 6 laps to go as I push wide there. In fact, I did that a lot this race, and somehow it does not hit you with a track exceeding warning, even on strict. And mind you guys, if you guys check into it, take a look. But here we are coming up to the tight left-hander right before the long back stretch with the DRS zone. We have a good run. Let's see if we can pull up to Vettel and make a pass. DRS is open. We throw it into Rich and overtake. Here we go. Catching him, catching him. He's actually going to offer us the outside. We're going to have a look, and we're going to actually brake and go side by side. I felt like I went side by side with the AI a lot through these next couple corners.
We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix 2 soon.
So we get around Vettel. Next up is Hamilton. And guys, I'm going to throw you for a little curve here. Hamilton has done an amazing job this season so far. And believe it or not, I did not know this going into this race, but if he won this race, I think by first or second, he was going to win the Drivers' Championship that easily by the United States Grand Prix. And so I pushed, and I'm going to try to make sure that I at least give him a run for the money. And as you can see by lap 28, the last lap of the Grand Prix, I was catching him, but I wasn't catching him enough. The soft tires started to go off a little bit too much as these guys are on the mediums, and that was enough said. Rounding the last few corners, what could have been, you know what I mean? It was our home Grand Prix. We started 7th. We initially qualified P11, but starting 7, going up to Q2, setting the fastest lap of the race. I cannot, you know, be disappointed in that. Maybe next season, when this car is more upgraded, we can be fighting for that top podium. But however, Lewis Hamilton grabs a win, grabs the championship. We cross the line in P2.
Great work. Well done. We're really happy with the podium here.
And so the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It may have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion. So, another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but the truth is they simply had the best speed package on the day, and a driver who knows how to take advantage of that. It doesn't matter how much time you spend poring over the stats and planning strategies if you can't keep the pace, and our winner today showed they could do both.
So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. This also means that there's no catching our leader anymore and we crown a new World Drivers' Champion. Some amazing talents out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Rose. They demonstrated a very delicate touch in close proximity to other cars, as well as showing a lot of maturity and patience in difficult situations.
It's time to check out the Constructors' standings. It's another clear win for Mercedes as they managed to secure the Constructors' title. An incredible performance for the whole team. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
Another driver of the day vote, and I will take it. Congratulations to Lewis. Hopefully we can battle him next season, but until then, on to the interview.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you?
I mean, it was great, Claire. The car was sticking to the track very well.
You must be thrilled to be up on the podium.
Like you wouldn't believe, but the team put a lot of faith in me. I'm glad I could live up to it.
You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled.
I couldn't do it with a great team behind me.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Guys, this has been a big episode of my home Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton wins the World Drivers' Championship. Thank you so much for watching. Hit subscribe. We're going to do these videos all the time. I appreciate it. But until then, I will see you on the next one. I'm leaving you off with the race highlights.